Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
You know, you can paint a goat yellow and black, but that doesn't give you a tiger. It gives you a ticked-off, devil-eyed farm animal that will eat a hole right through your mama's good bed sheets hanging on the clothesline. What I'm trying to say is that you need to get up in the morning and pull your britches on one leg at a time and face reality like a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest with a yellow and black goat. I can't make it any simpler for you, my friends. And speaking of simpler things with holes in their britches, this is Dave and Juan. We'll be right back.
And 3.
Number 2.
Always going to follow that with a 1. Woohoo! America, say no more or say as much as you want. We can't hear you anyway, but we are back and you are welcome.
You're welcome, man.
100% welcome.
Take that cue.
Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this right here is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, do not adjust your those of you watching on video. I got a text from a friend of mine, Doug Sheremy, who I guess fancies himself a rule follower. I don't know. He pretends to know a lot about America and American rules and stuff like that. And apparently, when I rehung my flag behind me here, post, office
stars on the
remodel,
wrong side.
Apparently, he said, I got the text from him, and he said, whenever the flag hangs straight down, the stars are on the left.
That side.
Who knows? I didn't even check. I didn't have the energy to check.
They're on the left of the viewer.
No, they're supposed to.
They're on your right.
They're
I guess if you're facing it, you're on your left.
They're to my right. Okay. Those of you that are just scintillating conversation for those of you that are just listening on the audio, but there you go. I didn't even check. Didn't even want to invest the mental energy to check. I just said, I'm going to take Doug's work for it. So Doug, if you're out there you go, bro. It's good.
Hope he's right.
Good to go. Good to go. And I'm still contemplating going back and forth about whether or not I'm going to throw some curtains back there again because pretty bright, man. It's got that afternoon.
From here, it doesn't look that bright.
All right. Afternoon sun coming in. Afternoon sun because, we're a couple of old guys. I'm sure later on we'll talk about what Juan ate this week. And
nothing special.
All right, and then maybe our laundry adventures. But what do all old guys like to talk about? Bro, it's hot,
dude. It is freaking insane.
We're supposed to be setting a record here today in the land of Sugarland, Texas.
We were driving back, went to my dad's earlier for a bit, and I don't know how accurate the thermostat in the car is, the one that shows the temperature.
It's always a little off because you got the pavement and
Yeah. Mine showed 102.
Okay.
So I called up the app on my phone, the WAFB Channel 9 app in Baton Rouge, 101.
We did 103 here today. We're supposed to get to 100. We're supposed to get to 105. So woohoo! Cool front.
I was in, I've mentioned before that occasionally, now that I'm older retired mindset or, life, I'll do drives for a buddy of mine who's got a courier service. And he got a contract with the medical system here. Right. So Monday after we did the podcast, he texted me. He said, hey man, you want to make a run for me? I said, yeah, well, sure. From Baton Rouge to Monroe. So
okay. How many hours is that?
3.5 each way.
Wow. Okay.
And it's basically, so just to give you some context of it, so I go to the hospital here and pick up something, actually blood.
Look at you, Juan, trafficking blood.
Right. I just worried, said, man, how bad would that be if somebody hit me from behind?
How much blood are you transporting there, Juan?
4 big boxes. Yeah, a lot.
What's
so
a box?
Drive all the way there.
Box of blood. Hang on, man. You glossing over this too quickly. I mean, we've been doing this podcast is this our 5th year? Hang on. What is this, 2?
Yeah, it's been over 5 years. Since
okay.
Close to 5.5.
So, the saga has been going. I mean, I've basically been doing my same, thing for all this time. Juan went from one career and at an extremely advanced age, changed careers.
Yeah.
Apparently, he started doing pretty well at it. Decided I'm not having any more of that, or just figured, I'm gonna ride the wife's coattails. So he retires, but now in retirement,
need some help, and I can't start drawing Social Security for another couple of months.
He's transporting boxes of blood.
Transporting, sometimes I bring stuff from one lab to the other. But this is like big boxes of blood from the blood bank at one hospital.
I'm guessing their boxes and each box probably contains many small
bags.
Things
of blood. It's in a cooler and stuff.
Did you look at it?
No.
Oh, you'd be like the guy in the movie that, hey, I'm just the driver. Did you check if were you transporting like illegal aliens behind the vehicle?
It said like human something on the boxes. So, I know it wasn't organs, but.
Dude, you know what you ought to do when you're doing something like that? Go ahead and get your Bluetooth hooked up, or what kind of vehicle are you driving? A van?
My Jeep. No, my Jeep. I
drive my Jeep. You're driving your own vehicle.
Yeah.
One. Well, hang on. Reset. Time out. You're using your personal vehicle to drive boxes of blood.
Yeah.
Man, I envy you, Juan. You a hustler, man. I like that about you. So what you need to do is get in your car and do it where they can hear you to make you nervous, and just slap on as loud as you can put it. Jerry, eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We gonna do what they say can't be done.
I did decide if I get stopped, I would say, bro, I got blood in the back. I got to get into the hospital, man.
We got a long way to go. Short time to get there.
But in fact, so, getting back to the heat, like at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in Monroe, it was 103 degrees still. And I know that it was actually 6 o'clock because that's when you sent the podcast over to me.
Okay.
So I had to pull over at the Circle K and upload the podcast.
All right. I just want to document.
I brought my laptop with me.
I want to document this, America. First of all, we've been doing this podcast, Juan and I, and some people ask me all the time, like, are you always like do sponsorships and stuff like that? We never have, because then it becomes.
Maybe I have time now that we
okay,
might look at. So.
But then you got to be a little careful. That adds a layer of work,
responsibility.
Exactly.
Accountability.
It adds a layer of accountability, responsibility that I don't know we're looking for. But the flip side of that, America, I want you to understand something. I want you to understand Juan Semino's commitment to entertaining America.
Bruh.
Dude jumps, and this is the same day because we had some stuff stacked up, so we couldn't record until the Monday morning.
Right. It was the same day. Probably I don't think I left till 2 in the afternoon.
So we are recording last week's podcast. Juan then commences to jump in his personal vehicle, head to a hospital, load that thing up with boxes of blood, drives them to Monroe, and then on the way back to launch, because it's not magic, y'all. Like, I'm gonna spread behind the curtains. I'll give you a little behind the curtains on the Dave and Juan More Time podcast. We do these things. It sits on my computer. I have to do the quick edits. Mm-hmm. It used to be a lot more edits than we realized. What are we doing?
But still, you've got to do the intro, the outro.
You got to do all that. You got to do exactly. Do a little bit just for your listening entertainment. Every now and then, we'll throw in a sound effect just to keep it sharp. Just because there's a lot of podcasts out there, they don't do jack.
You always you do the intro, write the intro.
You got to do all that stuff. Okay, so there's a little work, and then I get it done, and then I have to, and they're pretty big files, and I have to have the video file, and we have to convert it to an MP3 file. That gets sent to Juan, and then Juan in the Baton Rouge studios, or when he takes it on the road in his Jeep with boxes of blood.
Let me tell you something. It takes a whole lot more time to upload it off a hotspot than it does off the Wi-Fi in your house.
You must have been sitting at that Circle K for a minute if you were uploading.
20 minutes.
Hang on. Oh, that's great. I just want to document this. Juan Semino.
I let it go for 20 minutes and I said, I got to get rolling. So I left my computer on the seat Uh, and I just left it keep uploading. And then when it got you know, close to the time to post it, I stopped again somewhere to make sure it had uploaded all the way.
Oh man, that's just my kind of visual.
Right, bro.
Juan at a Circle K uploading the Dave and Juan, but you had already dropped the blood off.
I'd already dropped the blood off.
It was blood free.
But had I not, I still would have stopped.
You know what I'm curious about, and this is side subject, and I hope I don't get as banned, but it's just it's a conversation I've heard many times, and I don't know if they're still doing it or not. When you're talking about blood, is the controversy of vaccinated blood or unvaccinated blood. You know, like you can get in trouble some places in some hospitals for, basically saying
not vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't donate.
No. People want unvaccinated. Is the thing. You know, people are saying, hey, you know what? In light of all the stuff that we kind of all knew, but nobody admitted, but now they're having to admit it. In light of all that, I guess to the point of people that went ahead and fought and didn't take a shot are saying, hey, don't give me one through the back door, so to speak.
Dude, the school closed for a day Friday over here. Just started because of COVID.
No way.
Yeah.
A school closed because of COVID.
They said, a few kids had it, so they just wanted to make sure it didn't get an outbreak. So it closed for a day. You
know what happened? And boy, I tell you what, and your wife's a teacher. My wife's a teacher. My sister's a teacher. My father was a school principal. Family, I'm not disrespecting teachers, but man, we've lost the plot with administration. Hey, listen, I think we've given people too many get out of free. Basically, all you got to do is say COVID, and they let you do anything.
Yeah, that's because they were doing it on the news, and we don't want us to. Who cares? Just go to school. Because yesterday I had a headache, and I don't get headaches. And I joked when I went to bed last night. I said, the only 2 times I've had headaches in recent years, I had COVID. And Joey said, you heard the other day it's going around. And I said, and I went in that lab at the hospital. They probably dropped the vial or something.
No, never.
Nah. And my whole thing is, and I'm going to church tomorrow.
That's right. When you have to say, I don't get headaches. I give them. Yeah. I always told my wife, like high blood pressure, because I'm the one that's always had the issues, and that's the part of the genetic lottery that I won. You get hypertension. Although, I mean, okay, we're going down this road, and I don't want to go down there too. But in the old days, my blood pressure would have been considered normal for my age. Right. That's because, they started jacking with the numbers back in the late 80s. Now they just keep dropping it. They could just, as soon as they got a medicine they can push on you, they drop it. Same thing with, your cholesterol ought to be, how much lower can we get it? Yeah. So no, but my wife has always been, she never, her blood pressure is always low, always had.
Yeah. Mine right now is, average about, 130 over 80.
Dude. That's
low cholesterol.
On my best day.
I eat the worst foods in the world, and I can stand a drop 40 pounds.
There you go. That's what I tell my wife though. She didn't have high blood pressure, but she was a carrier. She caused it. That was my.
Did she cause yours?
Yeah, not true. Kidding, honey. Although she might have missed it. Even if she's listening to this, and we sound like chipmunks because she listens sped up.
And fast.
Hey, man. And some of you out there may be doing that right now.
Last week, because she listened and said that, at the beginning part, she heard me say something about that I'm telling her everything that I do, because like she used to do. That's what I said during the podcast, and she heard that part.
You said that at the end, though, man.
Then she called me back. Where at the end was when I talked about her telling me how to do laundry and everything. And that's when she called me. Because at the beginning she texted me and said, I just wanted you to know that I'm going to my next student. I didn't want to call you because you said that I call you too much.
Hey.
And I said, she said, I said, you love it when I talk to you. Not about that. And content, man. It's content.
And you probably say, and then again, I haven't done this one in a while, but you do that and your significant other will say, I don't sound like that. And you say, it does to me. It, I don't know. I don't know what it sounds like leaving you, but I know what it sounds like to me. Love you, honey. Oh, what we need to do, especially with my wife, if you want to just slip one by, just talk really, really fast.
Oh man, yeah, I can't talk fast though.
Oh yeah, then it's going to be, it'll just be chipmunk. She won't make out any of that. No. But people are, those of you that aren't, tapping out using the fake COVID excuse to get out of school. Oh, man, I'm so annoyed. We've broken everything. We just have. But I was thinking about that. We're at lunch today with brought one of our neighbors to lunch, and we're talking about back in the old days, and she's older than us, but what summer used to be and what summer is now, and with schools, like what we were Labor Day, right? Like when I knew we were going back to school, Jerry Lewis Telethon. You'd see the Jerry Lewis Telethon, and the day after.
Yep. He'd sing that "You Never Walk Alone" song, and you knew it was time. Almost time to go to bed.
Through the walk on. I saw a comedian the other day. It was, I guess it was a comedian. Somebody making a comment, and okay, not making fun of anything, but he was kind of leaning on Jerry, saying like, "Man, did we just waste a bunch of money with Jerry? Wait, what did you cure, Jerry?"
Yeah, not a bunch. They said Jerry was kind of a jerk.
Oh no, he was famous, like world famous butthole, but talented guy. I mean, I used to
like those kids with muscular dystrophy.
I used to enjoy the there's a whole story where that started. I mean, it was all good natured. It was but I remember in the day, I see this a lot. I see like clips of old shows, whether it's TV shows or sporting events. And I guess before we had phones and cell phones and smartphones and crap, it was appointment watching, because so many of these clips, I remember watching them live. And I'm thinking, did all I do was watch TV? Like, how was it possible that I saw that when it was happening?
But part of it, too, is if you think about it, there were very little choices as far as TV.
True.
The chances of, 3 people who watching something at the same time now, pretty slim. And
there was pretty much always a winner and a loser. There's pretty much one show that everybody watched.
Yeah.
And the other 2 networks just struggled until they had, like NBC ruled Thursday nights, others. But, and then Monday Night Football, every time I watch an old Monday Night Football clip, I remember seeing that live, right? We all watched that. But then I remember the telethon. I remember when Frank Sinatra brought Dean Martin out.
Yeah.
And they did that, the little impromptu reunion. Yeah, I still remember that.
Because I think, Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin used to be like a comedy troupe together, right?
Dude, they weren't they were the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You go back and look at it, that's the other thing we lose track of, because it's a different scale now with like the Taylor Swifts and something worldwide and all the whatever. But Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin, Martin and Lewis, were massive. I mean, like the crowds outside their hotels, kind of stuff. I mean, they were the biggest stars.
The same thing. You had a whole lot fewer options to get exposure to stars. Right. So,
but anyway, that was when we knew school was starting. Jerry would do and remember when he used to be at the end, he'd have the number and he'd start to talk, and then Ed McMahon would say, "Wait a minute," and Jerry would fake
Tippity.
That. Oh yeah, tip. And then what would they play? What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What was the?
Yes. And confetti would fly, and
I know all you guys, all you youngins out there that never experienced those telethons. You don't know what you missed, man. That was, and the I told you that before. I went to one live, right? Did you?
Oh yeah, with the JCs, right?
Yeah, man.
Now, did you go to Vegas?
Yeah, I was in Vegas. We stayed at the Las Vegas Hilton back when, dude, I'm dating this now because I want to say they were just building the MGM.
And you were like you brought out a check?
I did not. I was just like a JC dignitary, I guess. I don't know. End of the day, I guess I was a good salesman. If you recruited a lot of JCs, you became whatever. No, man, I was JC of the year in 1989. That's one of the few plaques. It's not on my wall now, but it's. I didn't throw it away. It's somewhere around here. Louisiana JC of the year in 1989. Yeah, the year we went, or I went, there was a strike going on in Las Vegas. All the entertainers and stuff were striking, so it was bizarre. So Jerry was there. So I saw Jerry Lewis. I got to get into the theater, and but Sammy Davis Jr. was somewhere else. He was like in Los Angeles, So they'd cut away to him, but I never get to see Sammy up close. But I'm sorry if I told you this, but one of the coolest things was, I guess I had a pass somehow, or maybe the Louisiana JCs had maybe a handful that they could hand off around, like not just to be in the audience, but you could go to the sort of backstage to the craft table or something, like where the food was set up. And dude, I'm getting whatever whatever. I don't think it was a sandwich. I'm getting some food there. Guess who I bump into? And I didn't have a long chat, but just said, hey, and I told them how much I liked his work and blah, blah, blah.
Tony Orlando.
That would have been awesome.
I just remember he used to be on them all the time.
I'd have loved to meet Tony, but no, it's a guy who, very well, probably more famous than Tony, maybe even. Well known in radio.
Oh, I see his face.
The voice of Shaggy in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Oh, Casey Kasem. Yeah.
Casey Kasem. I had the opportunity to meet Casey Kasem. As I recall, he was about 5'2". He's a little.
Well, he passed now, but he was a little guy. I remember that.
And he had that voice. Casey Kasem. Pleased to meet you, David. How are you? Said, I love your countdown, Casey. I appreciate that, sir.
Yeah, I still catch some of them on Sirius.
Those are great, by the way. But that's just, listen, I totally understand that my sons or your kids would hear us listening to that stuff, and it would be like if my mom or dad wanted to hear chank-a-chank Cajun music from, and you go like, what are you listening to? But right now, dude, if you throw on Casey Kasem's top 40 countdown from 1981, riveted. Love it, man.
And if you're lucky, you'll get a long distance dedication.
That was the only things I did not like.
No.
I never liked the, just like the other one. Who's the one now that's on radio? Delilah.
Delilah.
Oh, I hate her.
And I hadn't listened to that forever. With the call-in stuff, you pick something for us. It's like, shut up. Stop being so stupid.
Request used to be a big thing, y'all. You're talking to the,
Yeah.
I will hang my hat on that. I still wish there was some way to know. I would bet anybody that my Monday night show was the most listened to thing that Nicholls, the Canis you ever had. And I don't think I'm. I don't think you're speaking out of turn. I don't think so. Like I said, and it's all relative, obviously, because now there are so many other things to pull people's attention away and podcasts and everything. But back in those days.
But even if you look at numbers, because again, back when we were on, the radius was pretty tight as to how far.
Oh, it's tiny.
Listen,
bro, if we'd have had a signal that actually reached anywhere, like especially Homa, oh my gosh, man. But that's all I could. I was just always hang my hat on that. To my knowledge, I'm the only one that ever shut down the
switchboard.
The switchboard. The switchboards had complaints, and they had to shut us down because we had it. But that was a big deal back in the day, man. Making requests. This dorm to that dorm.
Yeah. You got to dedicate it.
I think it was wrong that sometimes I was there with my friends. I can remember Tim. I think Raleigh. Here's the deal. Over the years, I get more friends that claim they came to the Monday night shows. Like, I think you remember when we used to? And I'm like, who's we, Kimosabe? I mean, now don't get me wrong. I've had some friends there with me. I just don't remember how many and how long. But I remember my roommate Tim coming. I think Raleigh came with me a good bit. I don't know. He would know us, but he's one of these guys with a memory of. he'll hear this and then text.
He'll probably tell you when
He's
they were
texting me
there.
right now to let me know exactly how it happened and where it happened because I don't remember this stuff. But I do know, and I don't think it was allowed at the time, but I remember having an ice chest in there a few times.
I don't think it was ever allowed. Probably not allowed now.
I don't know. I guess you're not supposed to be able to drink on the air, but
No.
who knows, man?
I had friends would come because when I started, we had the offices. That was before they gutted everything. So I had an office, and I don't know if it was still there.
Yeah.
And I had like a couch in my office. So I had hungover friends who would come sleep in my couch.
Okay. In the station.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but the thing too was there was just a difference between the nighttime shows. In the
Right, there was
daytime,
nobody around.
exactly. People were hanging around. You can get in trouble. People would look, dude. After they rolled the sidewalks up at 6 o'clock at.
Yeah, I don't even know if you could technically. Did you have to get? And again, memory doesn't serve me on that. Did you have to get somebody to let you in the building?
Good question. I don't remember. I know I didn't
Because they had night class, so I guess.
Yeah, I got into Peltier. I don't think they. And by the way, that was the other thing too. Wherever any of you who know the radio station now, that's in a different building. It makes sense where it is now. They put it where everything.
Yeah, all of the other broadcast
mass communications is. But we did it. We were in for whatever reason. We were in Peltier, that building, and I think officers. We had keys to the station.
Yeah, we had keys to the station for sure.
But
the building.
But yeah, no, that was. While we're on the thing, and did you see? Shout out to who put that out there? I guess it's KNSU. They've got a bulletin board outside the hallway, and they're asking alumnus of KVFG KNSU to send pictures of back in the day. So we got to send them that one that starts off our podcast with.
Yeah. I found a couple other ones from that same thing of me and you.
Send them to me. Yeah, we got to send that to them. And also, we got to send them the one with that starts off this podcast.
Yeah, because that was from a radio station event.
It was a radio station event, and the pie was going into the face of who was it again?
The girl from the newspaper. I forgot her name.
That's back when. Were we KVFG or KNSU back then?
I think we were KNSU at that point.
We had just changed to KNSU?
Yeah.
So destroyed the Nicholls world.
That's right. It was print versus, or like the print people versus the radio people.
Various athletic events.
Three-legged race.
Don't know what those don't know what those newspaper people thought they were doing, getting on the athletic fields with the jocks of KNSU. Literally, radio jocks.
Yeah.
I don't remember who else we had. They had me and you, and that's enough. I mean,
I'm sure Rick was there.
That's true. Rick was there. Yeah, Rick was. Sorry, Rick. Well, how did I forget Rick would have been there?
I know Frank Smith was there.
What about JTO, Jason Olivier? Was he there?
I don't know if JT was there. He might have been off, doing some research on AI or something.
He might have. What about Kevin Smoot?
Smoot might have been there.
He was a football player. Kevin Smoot was a running back for the Nicholls Crows.
He had it wasn't a rap show because there was no rap then, but Kevin Smoot spinning the wheels of steel.
Spinning the wheels of steel. Kevin Smoot. There was, man, hide your daughters when Kevin Smoot came to town. I do remember that about Kevin.
He was smooth, man. He was smooth. I like Kevin.
Hide your daughters.
I have to go and look up Kevin Smoot, see if I can find him.
Hope he's out there. Hope he's still alive. We're at that stage in life, Juan. You realize that where it's like, I talk about people like, I hope that guy's alive.
Yeah. No, I saw, and not to make fun of this, I saw on Facebook this week somebody offering sympathy. Oh, sorry to hear about so-and-so. This girl that I know, and they were talking about her brother. And so I texted my sister. I said, hey, what happened to, and said the guy's name. I don't want to be disrespectful and say that here. And my sister, in, the way that she is and makes you beg for information, says, he died. And I said, well, I kind of figured that. I was kind of going for, maybe I should have been a little clearer.
Yeah.
How did he die?
Yeah. Well, what's the important thing, Juan? The poor dude's dead.
Yeah.
But there are various, was it a shock? Was it not a shock? Was it,
No, it was not a shock. Thinking maybe partied the years away.
You know what? They say live fast and leave a good, live fast, die young, leave a good looking corpse.
Yeah, I'm not sure he did either.
Well, I was about to say, problem with that is sometimes you outlive your plan. Then you just got health issues is all you got.
No. Hey, I did another first this week. Well,
hang on. We're now, wait, first besides transporting buckets.
Right.
Not buckets.
Transporting blood. I listened. I didn't read it. I listened to an entire book.
Shout out to my mom. My mom is probably listening to this podcast right now saying, oh, my babe, I listen to 12 books a week.
So we were driving. We went quick trip to Houston. And they bring my daughter to school. And my wife was driving. So I downloaded a book to listen to.
Dude, you listen to a book while you're driving with your wife? Oh, you guys are so retarded. All right.
But so I said, well, I don't care. I'm not listening to that. You can listen. And she said, you're not going to listen? I said, no, you go ahead. I'm fine. I'll piddle around. I'll sit in and think. And so she put it on and I started listening. And we listened to it all the way there and all the way back. Freaking book is like 15 hours long.
It takes
the audio version.
It takes a while, dude.
And I'm sitting out saying, man, I'm such a child. I said, are most books this long? And it's also very descriptive, like a mystery thing. And I said, are they all like they describe all the visuals like that?
Are you gonna have to?
Yeah, it's a book.
It's a book. We are so and we grew up with books, Juan. But it's like that Nate Bargatze line. He's funny with that. He goes like this: "I'm not a reader." There's just so many words. There's just so many words, and it's relentless. You turn a page. Oh, it's another full page.
Words.
He
was on Bill Maher not too long ago, and I saw a clip of it. And Bill Maher was saying, "All right, we got to talk about this reading thing." Bill Maher said, "I'm gonna give you one. You got to read this." And he gave him. I didn't know Bill Maher had a book. Why would I know anybody? Had a book? Right. But so Bargatze starts looking. The print's pretty big. Not that many. I might can get through this.
Yeah, you know what? You can make fun of yourself like that when you are. You saw he set the Guinness World Record, even though apparently it's still a thing when the Guinness World Record still exists. But his comedy tour sold the most tickets of any tour ever.
Wow.
Yeah. I had an argument the other day with my son about that because Shane Gillis, who is super, super hot. Shane Gillis is a very, very popular comedian, and he sold out Philadelphia Stadium, the football stadium, for a show. One night. He's from the Philadelphia area.
Yeah.
70-something thousand people. So it was the largest.
I guess it's how long is the tour and how
that's
big
it.
The arena.
So Shane Gillis he plays arenas and stuff, but that was the most for a single show. But I was telling my son, I said, he's big, but Nate Bargatze is bigger than him. And he's, oh no. I'm like, no, he is. Because Bargatze's doing like 2 shows a night because they can't, he's playing 15, 18, 20,000 seat venues and they sell out so fast.
Multiple times.
He's doing 2 shows. So also, besides the fact he is funny, and then we can hear a couple of old guys talking here. That's right. He works clean. So, like I said, I have respect for people that work clean simply because it takes more work.
Yeah.
You got to polish something because you can't just drop an F-bomb or drop.
Right. And it's why I always tell people, I said, look, vulgar comedy doesn't offend me.
Right.
But you better make it funny. It's, stop with the low-hanging fruit where you're just saying that so you can throw that out there so you can curse or whatever.
If the laugh comes from the profanity, it wasn't a good joke.
Right.
The profanity can be like naturalized because people curse. I mean, it's sort of I get it, but if it's just, or I don't know if it's a nervous tick with some folks, it's just, if every third or fourth word is, and again, I don't know that if that always bothered me, but you can go back and look, say like Eddie Murphy Delirious, who I don't care how you stack it, that's got to be one of the top 5, top 10, maybe top 5 live.
Start live.
Ever. Okay. So, and he uses a lot of profanity in there, but it's not.
But it works.
It works, and it's not constant, and it's all,
No, it's
Chris Rock a little bit too. Chris Rock sometimes.
Yeah.
But again, another old guy topic. Y'all don't curse so much when y'all trying to make me laugh, y'all.
The 14, 15-hour book I just finished today, right before this, didn't curse.
But no, the ones my wife listens to, I'm sorry, I'm telling tales here. They got some cursing in these things. And she always claims, she always wants to pretend that I just happened to be walking in the room when it's something cursing
time.
Or some kind of, what I would call inappropriate for mixed company banter. And I got no problem with that, but I'll give her the hard time, like, whoa, you playing that in my house? Cannot believe.
Well, this guy's Harlan Coben is his name, and he's got a bunch of books, but he's got a bunch of movies, and I've seen several of his movies, and they're all like thriller mystery type stuff. So that was like, all right, well, I'll check that out.
You know what I started watching? And boy, I hate to do this, but yesterday was a Saturday. It was super hot. I'd done my stuff. I was like, So I'm one of those things. My wife had work to do, and I'm like, well, I actually got some time. I'm just gonna sit here and started watching the new season of Jack Reacher.
Oh, is it good?
It's good, man. It's good. And I don't want to like that guy because, like, in real life, he said some pretty, it's one of these guys, I just want actors, like, guys, just be cool, play your, don't talk politics, don't.
Yeah, and I actually wondered if I was going to watch it because of that.
Okay, so it's, well, I'll put it this way, I think the first 4 episodes were out. I watched 2, did some stuff. I came back later and watched the other 2, but it's good. It's formulaic. You know what's coming.
Yeah.
You know by episode 3 there's going to be the obligatory, okay, he's going to bed with whoever the hot woman is. And it starts off on this and you're thinking, is that going to be her? No, probably not, because she supposedly has leukemia and she's not doing well. But then you come to find out she doesn't. She's faking that. So once you realize, once they unveil in episode 2 or 3 that, oh no, she's not really sick. I
started watching the Saints game, and
I got that right here. I got that. I thankfully missed the whole dang thing.
30. Oh, yeah, you did.
Oh, they're the Saints, right?
Yeah, like 34-0.
So here's the deal.
Zach Wilson, if his hot mama would have been on the sideline or something to just give you something interesting to see.
Zach, now he is the 3rd string quarterback.
Right now he's the 3rd string, and I thought before yesterday he was going to lock to get 2nd string, and thought they might trade Rattler, but I didn't watch the second half. Apparently he didn't look worth a dog anyway either.
Well, I don't do the NFL package. I refuse to.
Yeah, I get it because it's the Saints. But
I'm actually annoyed with. We said this last season. You got to find so many stations to watch anything. Wait, is that on Amazon? Is it on? Is it on? Okay, whatever. But so I didn't see the Saints game, but I always see on the clips, on Facebook or whatever. And another thing too is
it's hard to tell at preseason. Nobody's.
And then you got guys that are just out there doing content. They're just getting mad at the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. The more people out there putting out stuff, the more I find myself only watching 1 or 2 people because I trust. Okay, they're either going to be entertaining or they're talking about everybody.
Well, even in preseason, there's like they've got the guys like the sideline guys, the guys who do like the pregame interviews. They're terrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to watch this. This is not interesting to me. Just whatever.
They're filling time. They got it. They got to fill time. But I jotted that down too with how bad apparently the Saints were just awful.
It looked terrible, man. And Joey fell asleep, and then about 20 minutes later she wakes up, And she says, what was it? Did they win? I said, how long do you think you were asleep? I said, you were gone for 20 minutes. You fell asleep like midway through the first quarter.
We actually I went to a Texans
I
preseason
saw
game
that. They
Thursday.
won.
No, they lost.
Oh, did they?
They lost late. Nobody cares. That's
Yeah,
the
you
thing
can't
about
tell.
man.
They were
Look,
winning.
hey, as y'all as bad as preseason is, you know what's worse? Going see it live. And the only reason I did that was the guys were going, and it's in the afternoon. First of all, hey, way to go, NFL, giving Houston a preseason game in the evening. So those of us that get out there, regardless of whether or not you're going to tailgate, which very few people did, there's 100 and especially the hottest part of the day is 5 o'clock. There's 100-something degrees out there. So we went.
It was 103 at 5 o'clock in Monroe.
Yeah. So we went. We did. No, this was on Thursday. So yeah, about the same. But watched a bit of the game, and then that somebody for the Raiders, dude's out for the season, definitely some major injury, and you just realize, okay, why are we doing this? Why,
But part of the reason that, and talk to a guy that I used to work with, a young guy that used to be embedded with Saints media, because it just seems that you get a lot more injuries early on now, a lot more season-ending injuries than you used to. And he says that it's partly because of the Players Association contract, because they've got
right.
they don't practice a lot. Their conditioning is limited. Their off-season conditioning
Makes you wonder what Alvin Kamara does in the off season. That dude, what's he do? Does he plan his injuries for like a week out of right?
Yeah, he's out for a month.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you be, bro? Listen, if you get to a point, here's the deal with Kamara. He's not making the Hall of Fame. All right, he's never going to make the Hall of Fame.
No,
he's never going to win a Super Bowl. Okay, he's made good money.
Yeah.
So if your job involves getting out there and getting your brains beat in and your body torn up,
he was phenomenal for about 3, maybe 4 years.
Long enough to get paid.
And then he became, he rolled, and I like Alvin. I mean, I'm glad he's still on the team.
Yeah.
But after those initial few years, even though he was getting a lot of hype, he never lived up to it. Yeah, they always say, "Oh, Alvin Kamara." Yeah, I don't think it is. But talking about football, I mentioned this before. So I read just before we came on, and it's the legal implications of it keep going back and forth. But a judge ruled that some college players now have a 5th-year eligibility because of COVID and stuff like that. And apparently, a guy that, as of yesterday, with the Cleveland Browns, last year he was with Ole Miss. Well, they're releasing him, and he's claiming his 5th-year eligibility, and they full on plan that Kiffin's going to sign him to come.
Of course
to
they
LSU.
will. Of course they will. LSU's approach is we're Darth Vader. We don't care.
Yeah. I saw. You remember? I don't know if you remember Kevin Smoot from LSU. He played with the Jets and with the Texans. He's in Hall of Fame lineman. But whenever he used to go to my church a lot, and whenever he's in town, you'll see him there. And I saw him this morning. I almost went to ask him if he had any eligibility left at LSU.
It's a mess, y'all. I don't. And who knows? Could be wrong. Been wrong before. We may forget about it, and people will be just as in love with college sports as they've always been. I just don't see it anymore. It's not whatever. To me, whatever. The word's not glamour. Whatever. What made it special, right? Even though you say, okay, oh, they're cheating. Okay, I'm okay with that. It's like, you know what? Be good at cheating. The recruiting things, but there's always the threat of getting caught and getting banned. And look, SMU did that years ago. They got their entire program taken away from them. So you know what I'm saying? But there was always
this is one thing that I say where I'm a much bigger NFL fan than I am college fan. But I watch college all day on Saturdays. But in the NFL, you don't see a lot of lopsided victories. And if you do, you definitely not. Yeah, they're not coming back from the victory. In other words, if somebody breaks out with an early, 21-point lead, yeah,
In the
it's very
NFL,
rare
unless
that the other
unless you're
teams
like the
come.
Falcons in the Super Bowl
Right, the
against
Falcons.
yeah.
But in college, because there's so much emotion involved in it, yeah, and heart, you'll see the lopsided victories, but you also can see people coming back. I think that heart's gone, or it will be
Oh no,
gone.
no, no, exactly. Oh no,
Yeah.
no, no, man. There is. Forget it. There's no pride of, oh, I'm playing for whatever. And all the schools, and you look, even the ones that used to be hoity-toity, Notre Dame, they pay people like anybody else. I was listening to who was, darn it. Indiana. Well, Indiana, it's kind of funny. Indiana 3 years ago was a joke. Nobody thought Indiana was anything. Now they had a good run. They're national champion, and now Indiana's paying big bucks to players. So basically, it is a different league of professional athletics.
Well, right. Clemson's trying to, Dabo Sweeney's trying to still stay out of it, and
It's going to get
we'll see.
destroyed.
Yeah, they're probably their worst year last year under him. And I would be willing to bet after this year he's either going to commit to embracing it next year,
Yeah.
or this will be his last one.
Hey, so what? He signed all these guys. That's the other thing, too. They've signed contracts that protect. Look at Brian Kelly, man. Who's got it more made than Brian Kelly? Ain't nobody talking about that anymore, right? Remember when all this stuff, all the dirt they were going to bring out on Brian Kelly when he was fired, not fired, kind of that, whatever. Dude, we're going to pull the money back. They didn't pull back a nickel. They didn't pull back a nickel. That guy walked out with a boatload of money.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he was going to call all of them out. It's just like it's like politics.
Yeah, you might have dirt on me. I got just as much on you, and that dirt gonna hurt you long run.
That's
more than
right.
it's gonna hurt me.
Y'all want to start setting fire to stuff? Watch this. I got asbestos underwear on. Watch this, y'all.
Right. You got a whole forest. I just got a house to burn.
Yeah. So Brian Kelly's gonna be sitting there sipping on a beer with his wife or his girlfriend or both of them. Who knows what he's got going on? Apparently that's an LSU coach deal, man. That's part of the I guess just expecting when you're a coach at LSU. But I would say I don't wish bad things. I don't blame the players. Some of them are idiots. They're with showing off, but you can't even blame them for that, man. I got a 19, 20-year-old kid, and when I say kid, there might be 6'5", 300-pound, just showing off all the money they're making, and it's sort of like, I guess, all right, I can't blame you, man. To hate, what is it? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Good luck, all. But I don't really care.
A couple weeks.
Yeah, I don't really care. It's again, it could be proven wrong. And I think worse than this, football, as bad as football is, basketball is even more of a joke. Yeah. Collegiate basketball is just, it's over.
That's another so LSU men and women play Houston this year in Houston. And since my daughter goes to University of Houston, my wife has become a big University of Houston basketball fan. And I don't know if she bought it, but a couple of weeks ago or something, she said, "Can we go to that game?" And I said, I don't care. And then I realized that it's the women and the men. I said, if I go to the game, I am not going to both of those games. I'll go watch Houston basketball, the men play.
Let me know. I'll go, man. Let me go. I'll go get a beer with you at the down the street.
Right.
Of course, maybe there's a little bar. I think there's a bar on campus, and not or just adjacent. Anyway, you don't want to go to some of the bars around the university.
No, there's a cool little sports bar. It's like a little pub on campus that I've eaten at, and had a couple beers at one time when Riley had a swim meet, and they had like a big break during the day. So I just went to sit there and watch games.
We're talking about sports. And I mentioned we tailgated the other day for the Texans game, and I was totally joking. We got our favorite beer guy. His guy's named Ruben. Ruben's, I'm going to guess Ruben's in his upper 20s, lower 30s. I may have told stories about him before, but like every Texans game we go to, he's there. He works the top, and he works the upper deck.
He's a beer vendor guy.
He's our guy, Ruben. And they've been knowing him. I mean, I've been back season tickets now for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
They've known him before then. The dude lives in San Antonio.
Oh, wow. Drives over
Lives in
there.
San Antonio, and I don't know what company it is he works for, but he sells beer for whatever. And I was joking because I wonder if Ruben does preseason. Well, I'll be dang, he was there. We caught up with him, and he was heading out the next night. Him and his friend, they were going to sleep in Huntsville, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours off. Heading to Dallas, they were going to work an Avenged Sevenfold concert in Dallas. Selling beer, bro. It's what here's what this young man sells beer for a living. He has the ice buckets, the big boxes to walk with, and he does.
Now let me ask you, and you mean, does he have to get? I guess he's got to get a job. Who pays him?
Okay, I think he works on basically. They might pay him a minimal amount, like a waiter, and he works on tips.
I didn't know if he bought the beer.
No.
And like bought the beer.
Well, okay. I don't know that. No, he's not, because for some reason in the Texans, he can't carry Bud Light in his box anymore. And Bud Light's a huge sponsor. For some reason, you can only get Bud Light, which is kind of funny. You think anybody's taking a special walk to get a Bud Light, you idiots?
Right. I would think that they would,
But his box normally, well, whatever. Nobody cares what's in his box. But dude had a broken leg. I guess it's on the, so he had a walking cast on. And this guy's working upper deck stuff, okay? So we're talking to him about
generally steep.
Listen, and then he was going to Miami. He's going to Miami for a few weeks, work some stuff there. And then we talked about how was a World Cup. He said World Cup was good. And he's a young guy, we're talking, and he basically works on tips. And you know what? You can make dang good money on tips, and he pays his own travel. They don't pay for him to travel.
I was going to ask that, man.
No. Listen.
So is it the same company that he works for?
So that's what gets him in, right? So the company has the contract to work these things. So this young guy, so I just put it, we walk in. There's me, my son, I think 4 other guys. So I guess my first thing was, so I got the first round. So it's 6 beers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, dude, 6 beers is $80.
Yeah.
All right? Let me think. What would that be? Is that 15? No, wait, 15. Yeah, 80. And then the
12,
tip.
50, $15.
And then we always see Ruben with a 20%, 25% tip. So like my first round's 100.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's to him. For World Cup, I don't know how many World Cups, the month of World Cup, he made $17,000. He didn't sell $17,000 worth of beer.
That's how much he made.
His tips were $17,000. I know a couple of years ago, we're kind of just, shooting the breeze with him. And he's typically making right at about $100 a year selling beer. Now he travels all over the place, and again he has cost, so he might have $15,000, $20,000 a year of travel and hotels and flights.
20-something-year-old man, works a day a week here and there.
And you know what? AI ain't taking that job away. ChatGPT ain't bringing you a Modella up to Section 502. Not gonna happen. That's
pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it was a pretty good deal. What was the other thing? Oh, and I jotted something down too. But everybody's got a podcast now. More things are popping up on my feed. They got some guys. I'd give them a shout out. It's some kind of Louisiana guys, and they talk business. And it's always funny the people I see that are trying to copy somebody else's podcast, or they're just, it's weird. It's like they're talking like they got an audience of like a Joe Rogan audience, when chances are. Yeah. I'm what's looking at you, bro, but that's okay. But I kind of love it. But here's what I think you and I need to do, Juan. We got to start doing reaction videos. You know what those are?
Tell me.
Oh, dude, that's where somebody, you're like on one side of the screen and you're just watching either somebody else talk.
Oh, somebody, people react.
And you're going, and you're just pointing like.
I know exactly what you're talking. Yeah. So right? In other words, their content
is somebody else's content.
It's somebody's content, and they're just throwing some stuff into it.
Or their facial expressions. Or they are they just, you know what? You got to be shameless to do that. You do, because it's like you're basically saying, I want attention, but I can't generate anything worth getting attention.
Yeah, so I'm going to pirate their stuff.
They are the remores of the internet. Is it a remore? What's what are those fish that stick themselves to
Oh, the
sharks?
sucker fish.
Yeah.
It could be a more. No, a moray is an eel.
Okay, hang on a sec. That one's important enough for me to look up here, Juan. Hang on a sec here. What is the fish known as a sucker fish that sticks onto sharks? Let's see. You're thinking, remora. Remore.
All right.
Remora, commonly called a sucker fish.
Okay.
Remores have a specialized suction disc on top of their heads that allows them to attach to sharks, rays, sea turtles, whales, and other large marine animals. So there you go. That's what those reaction videos are. You are the remores of the internet.
Nah.
I'm not saying you suck, but you kind of suck.
Your original content sucks, so you got to get somebody else's.
Speaking of suck, and look, I am a huge fan. You know, A1, 9 times or 9.8 times out of 10, if I tell you I bought something, I went shopping, where am I?
Sam's.
Sam's. I'm a Sam's Club. They ought to send me merch. I'm a Sam's Club kind of guy. Sam's is getting on my nerves these days. They're letting too many of these vendors in the stores. All right. And God bless these people. They're out there trying to make a living. But some of them are nice enough to stand there and just smile, and they realize, hey, here's the deal. If I'm standing with, I'm selling electrical service, or I'm selling whatever, you can see what this is. And if you're interested and you want to walk
Right.
up to me, I'll engage with this. Just forcing yourself into a conversation. Sir, can I have a quick question? And I'm like, no, you can't. You can't. I'm good. God bless you. Have a great.
This is the whole thing. It's the forced conversation where if you have to say something, I'd rather say, buddy, you got any interest in aluminum siding?
I tell you what.
And then, can I ask you a question? Do you like painting? Do you?
That's what I should do that. You know what? Hey, but you know what? I sell insurance. How's your insurance needs? I think if you and I spend some time here, I can show you how I could save you some money on your insurance. Well, okay, all that aside, I walk out of Sam's. This was yesterday. And then right as you walk out, where too many people, hey, you couillon shoes, don't leave your baskets outside the door, right? What are you doing? Wheel them out, leave them somewhere, don't block the door, but that's another thing. This guy set up, man, and he is blaring music. And he's got a table set up, and it's, what's the name of the company, Juan? I guess it's Bunt Cakes, but the name.
Nothing Bunt Cake, maybe?
No. It's called Bunt Cakeaholic. Alcohol-infused cakes. Huh? Hey, Sam's, so you got a dude with a big tent, whatever, setting up right near the propane tanks. You can't even. Dude's blaring, selling alcohol-infused and custom cakes, and it's founded by some veteran. So they got some kind of, angle there, out of Houston. But blaring,
right? It's
selling
like
alcohol
you sell a sound system, turn the music off, and it just doesn't sound like it's the right product for Sam's, and definitely not the right approach.
And wait, and then I want to just walk up and say, time out. What's the rules here on selling? You're basically selling liquor, because that's your whole spiel here is alcohol infused food
In the parking lot?
right outside the door. I mean, just exactly. So I don't know.
I come, back up in your parking lot with an ice chest of beer and sell it.
Might as well. Like at a Saints game, huh? Welcome to the Saints game. Everybody sets up. And, I don't mind those guys at all. You know what I'm saying? Jeff, these guys that are out there with I've never bought. I shouldn't say that. Maybe we have bought some from them. When you look at you go into a Saints game, you walk in there, those beers are going to run you $15. Right? You walk into the bars. If you fight your way into a bar on game day trying to walk down there, you're going to want to kill somebody by the time you get to the bar, and they're still going to charge you a ton. Dude outside selling you a Miller Lite for $5?
Now, decades ago, when I had Saints season tickets, I knew the guy on the side of the road that would sell, or on the path to get to the game. And, you'd get a beer from him for a couple of bucks. And it was like, all right, I'm stocking up on them right now, and I'm going to chug these before I get in there.
Classy. Classy, though.
many years ago.
Classy that way, man. Classy that way. But well, there you go. You know, man,
There it is.
it's been an assorted buffet, Juan. We everything from alcohol-infused bundt cakes to Juan transporting big boxes
Transport blood.
of chilled blood.
Right. If you're bleeding to death, I'm your guy.
What's that?
I said, if you're bleeding to death, I'm your guy.
I just the visual. I will not get out of my head. We are going to push a button, get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tip up in the sky. We hope it did. Hey, y'all, if you want to reach us, same as always, Dave at Juan at protonmail.com. And
right here, wherever here happens to be for you.
at this moment, you're either listening or watching. Hopefully at the proper speed and not like my wife sped up.
Slow it down.
That is what we should do to make my wife and all of you out there who play these things at 1.5 or 2.0. You say, what? Oh, wait. They're looking at their phones right now. What? How can you? All right. Yeah, I'm just saying. Every week we tell you it's not a hint, suggestion, or implication. Y'all, it is a freaking,
It's a freaking mandate, bro.
mandate. Get out there, live your best life. Live your best life. You know? You be like that
What's
guy
the
selling.
alternative?
Yeah, that guy selling alcohol-infused cakes.
That may not be your best life, but that was his.
I thought about that. It's like, you know, you're out there, it's hot. You probably don't want to be doing that. Start eating some cake, man.
Yeah, he might have been partaking of the profits.
Man, you be 3/4 into a tequila bundt cake.
Yeah, or at least some of the ingredients.
Day's looking good. Don't ask me to make change at this point. Like, how's the frosting? It's good. It's good. Hey, you want a shot of cake? Just saying.
That's odd, man. That is odd.
Just saying. Yeah, exactly. And I was thinking too, like it didn't look refrigerated. Like, how's that stuff not melting? It's 1,000 freaking degrees out here, man. And what says I love you more than coming home with a bourbon bundt cake?
And maybe, or you can, keep it kind of quiet.
Hey, honey, I got us some schnapps cupcakes.
It's peppermint. It's peppermint.
Don't worry, it's supporting veterans, apparently. About as much as the lottery supports your school system.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, everybody. You guys have a fantastic week out there. Do what you have to do. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So another drive I was on for my friend was Friday. And I'm out in like parts of that I don't even know where this was. One was in Grosset. One was in Crowley.
Wow.
And the other was in Delcom. And I'm still not sure where Delcom is.
I went there and I can't tell you where it is.
I went there and I'm not quite sure. But the guy in Crowley, and this is just delivering prescriptions. That's one of his contracts. Well, he's not coming up on GPS. And like he lives on North Avenue O. And he only comes up South Avenue O. So I called him and I said, all right, I'm kind of getting out of, I just want to, here's where I am. Where am I supposed to be? So he directed me and everything. And then, so I'm getting there now, again, I'm going down Avenue G, but he's on the corner of G and O. And now, why do they intersect with letters? I'm not sure. But he calls me and he said, "You're close." I said, "I'm getting there. I'm like just past H. Okay, here's I." And he said, "What you driving?" I said, "Dark green Jeep." "Oh, you just passed me." I said, I don't think so. You're is it intersecting? "Yeah, you just passed me. I saw you. Turn around. You went too far." So I turned around and kept going, and everything's going. It's like, bro, I know my alphabet, and they're going backwards and backwards and backwards.
You don't know the Delcom alphabet.
I said, I think I need to turn around again, man. Let me just hang on. And sure enough, I don't know what green GP saw, but it wasn't mine. I get there and I see him standing outside. So, dropped his stuff off, and then I'm heading to Delcom. Did you know that in Louisiana, there's also a small town, or I guess an incorporated village named Mo? MEAUX.
I don't know that I did.
I did not either. Even more amazing, in the town of Mo, there's a guy running for marshal. It's for city marshal, whose last name is So. SEAUX.
There you go.
So you see, those are the kind of things I learn when I'm driving, delivering.
You driving roads that I've never been down. I've driven those like 90 and 10 a zillion times, and I've always thought, I wonder what happens if you just take this exit and go for a little while.
And I couldn't figure out where, I wasn't quite sure. Yeah, I knew where Crowley was, but then I'm going from Crowley to Delcom, and I said, I don't really know
I like that.
where this is going.
I have now been there, and I could not find it again.
Right, and it wasn't like on a major road. And that's what Joey called me and said, well, where are you? I said, look at Life 360. You probably got a better idea than me.
Let me know where I'm at.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Should have told that dude, hey, man, listen, that's not my Jeep. Do not take whatever they give you. Whatever they sell you coming out of that Jeep. Bro, you don't want it.
It's over. Go home.